In this video, we'll be learning how to sort data using SQL. And first up, we have order by, which sorts the rows in the result set by one or more columns. And we also have limit, which restricts the number of rows returned. Okay, looks like we got a good one in store for us. Let's get right on into it. Okay, so we got our data set here and our question, which is we have to bring in the customer names, the reason for the call, and the call duration that were phone calls from the Chicago call center. And we have to order all of this by the call duration in descending order. Okay, so we got a bit, we got a bit of a request here. Definitely a little bit different than the previous videos. So let's kind of dissect this one step at a time to make sure we're doing everything right. So we have to bring in the customer names, the reason, and the call duration. So let's take care of that part first. So I'm going to do the select function here, right, guys? I'd select a handful of columns here. And customer names, we know which one that is, which is customer name. So let's do customer underscore name. Move my cursor out of the way. And the reason, which that is the name of the column actually, so we're good. It's got reason. And call duration, let's see which one that would be. Okay, we got call duration in minutes. That's the full name of that. Call duration in minutes. Okay, so we got all of the columns we need. And okay, let's also make sure we tell SQL where it's coming from. It's coming from the SQL course, which is our database, and our data set is named data. So we're good there. Okay, so we have that down. So we have, with the first part of the request down. And we have to say that they were phone calls from the Chicago call center. Okay, so like I said, sometimes you get requests, it's not very straightforward. So we have to think, okay, they were phone calls. I know we are a call center, but we also have many more requests that are not just phone calls. So the column we're looking for here is, okay, we got channel. Okay, so there's different options here. There's email, web, chatbot. We're looking for just call center. So let's use our where clause here. Where channel is equal to, in single quotes, call center. Okay, so we have that down. There's also another part. So we have the phone calls part and from the Chicago call center. And we see call center is a column right here. And let's just make sure we are typing this in correctly, right? Because it says Chicago and then a slash IL. So we have to type it exactly like that. So let's do and do call center is equal to, in single quotes, Chicago slash IL. Okay, so we got that part down. So we pretty much have the requests, right? We have the customer names, the reason, and the call duration column that were phone calls. We have it right here, and they're from Chicago. I'm going to run this really quickly because even though we're not done, I'm incorporating something brand new after this we haven't done yet, which is order by, because I want to show you the results really quickly. And okay, so we got all this, the name, the reason, call duration. If we see it right now, the it's not in any kind of clean order, right? Let's say they want this in descending order. So we want the highest amount up top and in descending order from there. That'd be very important because, this is great. Like, okay, cool, we have our information, but what if I want to send this off right from here? What if I want to just export it, send it right off? I have to use the order by function now to do that. So what I'm doing here after typing order by is I'm telling SQL now, okay, within this query, I want to order this in a certain way. So think, right? We have to do it by the call duration. So which column in here we have to pick? It's the call duration in minutes. Call duration in minutes. And, also what's great about this too, let me back up a little bit actually, is when you're typing this out, I'm going to start over again here so you can see this. Call duration is we could do too, instead of typing all the way out, you can see right here where it pops up, you just click it. Just in case you don't want to keep typing it out or whatnot. Sometimes I kind of forget that's there. So we have order by call duration minutes, but we have to say, okay, in what order? Descending. Space. All we have to do is type in DESC. That means descending. It's just abbreviated that way, so we're all good. Let me end off my column there. Let me take my data. I'm gonna run this really quickly, and this should be in descending order. And let's go take a look at that. Awesome. This is perfect. So, like I said, I get the name, the reason, and it's in descending order. So it seems that the highest one's 45. Let me go to the next page and take a look. Okay, yep, perfect. This is perfect. So it's all in the right order. Filtering's already done. Now, let's say for some reason they want it in ascending order. I'm not sure why. So all I gotta do here is take out the descending and put ASC. And I'm going to run this really quickly. Actually, no, let me make sure I cover my entire data. Like I said, if you weren't on previous videos, make sure that when you're doing each query at a time, you're only selecting the query we're running, because this is up here to ensure that you can get back to the original data set. And if we just click run, it'll not work. It'll run both at the same time. So let's run this. And now it should be going from lowest to highest. Not sure why that would be needed for some kind of request, but let's run it and take a look. And yep, perfect. So it seems the lowest was 5 minutes. That would be very interesting to kind of look into those. But that's how you use the order by. And like I said, it's pretty, kind of, I wouldn't say word like straightforward, because sometimes you might, pick it up as quickly as some others. But that's just a great way of thinking like, okay, we have our request, but how do we want to order that? What's the correct way we want to show this information? And using the ascending or descending part afterwards will ensure that you're taking the exact column that you want and moving it in the way that you would like to. Okay, so for our next question here, we have what were the top 5 longest phone calls? We have to pull in the customer name, the reason, and the call duration in descending order. So, kind of similar to the last question, some parts we don't need the Chicago call center part anymore. However, we're using something different we haven't used yet in SQL. So let's think here. Okay, let's see. There's a question and there's many different parts. So let's kind of dissect this a little bit at a time. The end goal is we have to find what were the top 5 longest phone calls. But first, we got to figure out what we're trying to pull in. And we have right here the customer name, reason, and call duration. So instead of typing this all out, I'm going to let's just look at the previous one. So we have a customer name, reason, call duration, from data, channel equals call center. Actually, I have everything that we need right here. So let's just take all of this. Let's think smarter, not harder here. Paste that right there and think, okay, so I have that, the customer name, reason, and the call duration from data. And it's only looking at phone calls where channel equals call center. And I have to think now, okay, is there anything else I have to do here? And that is true. I have to put this in descending order. So let me do order by call duration. Just click onto that right there. Descending order. Now, here's the thing though, right? Let me run this really quick. So we have everything we need, right? We have the name, reason, call, duration, and as it runs, it should be in descending order. But we need to find the top 5 because if we see this, we get over 10,000 results. So we don't want the 10,000 results. We just want 5, the top 5 as it is. So we're going to use the limit function here. Let's type in limit. And what's great about this is it's telling us, okay, so out of all of this information up here, I just want a certain amount. So I'm going to type in limit 5, which is essentially saying we just want the 5 top results. So let me run this really quickly, run that through. And like I said, our final result should just have 5 different rows of information. Let's see. And yep, perfect. So we get our 5 right there. Even if they came to you and said, okay, I want to know, let's say, even like the top 10 calls. And we have it right here, actually, after I just typed in 10 instead. And now we get the top 10 right here. So what's great about limit is you really could kind of dictate this however you want. I'll put back the 5, so we're good. You can really put this exactly the way you want, really customize it so you will find top 5, 10, 20, or so on. Limit's a fantastic function to use. It really also gets to take it very easy on your database because sometimes doing these queries could be pulling in a ton, could create some performance issues. However, using a limit could give you the information you want very quickly and easily accessible right in front of you. Okay, so that was a fantastic job there. I really appreciate you guys following along for this video, and I can't wait to see you on the next one.